with the Foundation for Inclusive Community Help FICH, a dynamic grassroots organization dedicated to empowering communities. Today, we delve into their transformative education program, LEAD, that is, Leadership, Education, Access and Discovery. LEAD targets secondary school students, majorly girls, turning weekly mentorship into an intensive week-long bootcamp. Utilizing a social-emotional learning framework, the program equips students with vital life skills essential for success.
We conducted a research in 2021-2022, and the research revealed that in the whole of East Africa, there was very low level of life skills. But most importantly, the gender that suffered the most was the girl child, because of the limited opportunities that they have, because of the limited exposures that they have, and it's just the limited accessibility that they have to opportunities, and this has put them to be lower compared to their counterparts who are the male, and that's why our major focus is on the girls. But that doesn't mean that we are not thinking about the boys. We are involving the boys, especially during school time, because the boys have to understand what we are doing. The boys have to be ready and prepared for the girls that are being empowered, so that it is not a conflict again in the future. So we involve them through our other activities that we also have education-wise, games and sports, but as well we'll be talking about life skills and how to protect the girl child.
We begin. 1, 2, 3, go.
Exploration, and the first section under it is going to be
through collaboration with Peace Corps volunteers. Students experience diverse perspectives and cultures, enriching their learning journey.
The Discovery Bootcamp is a very advanced education program. You won't find a program like this in many places in Africa. And in America, programs like this are just starting also. And so what it's giving your daughters is a very advanced, rounded skill set that will help them either find a job or move on to university or be an entrepreneur and start their own business. And you'll see in the next 10 years in Uganda, things are going to change dramatically as industries shift from China to Africa. And one of the infrastructures that have just started is this road that they've completed. And you'll probably be seeing factories and more transportation use that road in the next 5 years. And businesses will come, and your daughters will be able to participate in the growth of Uganda and help make their lives more successful. So thank you for letting your daughters come to this Discovery Bootcamp, and enjoy watching their success as they grow and learn further. Thank you. Apoyo Mate.
Bootcamp that we had in Atafara here, we were taught about the leadership skills and the communication skills, And this, I learned a lot about that because me, myself, I used to know myself. I used to know myself as a shy girl, as someone who cannot speak before people, as someone who can, actually, I used to know myself as someone who cannot do anything in public at all. But out of the boot camp and out of the skills that FICH officials have been imparting into us, I went back to school and I thought of the skills that I've acquired in the boot camp. I thought of putting it into work, and when I went back to school, I had to also contest as the head girl of the school. And fortunately, I was selected as the head girl of the school when I was still in senior 3. When I was still in senior 2, and that had never happened at all. And it was my pride, and I can say all those, it was all because of FICH, because I myself, I used to know that I cannot speak before people, but right now, you can see me doing it without even shaking, just confidently. It is all because of FICH. And not only that, due to the entrepreneurship skills that we learned from the bootcamp, I also went back home and thought of applying it. And my dad asked me that, what are those people teaching you about? And I told him that they've taught us about entrepreneurship skills. And I told him that, Dad, I also want to take part in rearing chicken, and that is poultry. And he told me that my daughter is okay. And he also supported me. And I can say I started with 15 chicks. And I can say right now, I am the supplier of chicken, the one of 1 month, because when I'm always at school, my dad always operated for me. And when I goes back home, I always help him in it. And it is all because of FICH.
The first time I stepped in for this boot camp, I came to know that I have some potentials in me. But before, I knew nothing about myself. I could stand before people. I could make something better and better, but I never knew. This was just because of FICH that I knew myself and became a very good public speaker. I became somebody who then went for a competition, for the Oyam district competition, debate competition. I participated in the public speech competition, and I became the second best public speaker and won a medal. So that was on the side of leadership and knowing, like self-awareness. I have many success stories, but I can't mention them all. Congratulations to the FICH officials. As I leave FICH, I will leave with my head up. I see Parliament for me.
If I'm at home there, I remember one day I told my mother that, Mom, why shouldn't you at least help with some little money? I come up with at least something like, baking. That is to say, baking sambusas. At least we make some money. Mommy said, but my daughter, how are you going to make it? I told her that, Mom, I can make it. I have my friends. FICH is also helping. I can be able to at least start up that small business and we get some profit out of it. My mother accepted and said, my daughter, if you have accepted, let me help you. Let us start. No problem. My mom helped me with some little money. I started that sambusa making. And out of it, I came up with a profit of 100,000.
During the boot camp, FICH partners with professional teachers and mentors from local schools, enhancing program effectiveness.
One of the experience that I've got is that these girls need a lot of mentorship and care. That if at all, we should always be able to guide them through in a learning process. And I know it will be able to change their lives in the process that we go on or we move on with them together. So we shall always be there and we make sure that the guidance is there in place so that we can change their attitudes and their lives. And we recognize whatever aspect that they want to make into the societies and whatever they want to be. So we should always be there for them. Then me, myself, it has made me to be focused that in the society where we live in, we need to put much effort so that we make a place better than the way we have found it.
My experience in this boot camp is very interesting. I'm enjoying everything of the boot camp. I would love to say that this is my second stay in the boot camp. When we were first brought in, we were told we are coming here to facilitate the girls, tell them about life skills, share with them. And yeah, I am glad to share that this is actually happening. The girls we are having here are getting from us the knowledge as facilitators in soft skills. We are sharing with them how they can even survive tomorrow after school. Because to honestly speak, not every girl who is in the boot camp is going to make it tomorrow. Some of them will not further their educations, some of them will. So we are saying for those who will not, it is the purpose they are in this boot camp such that they can get the skills. Tomorrow they are not in school, but they need to survive. They need to have a better livelihood. The skills they are learning from here is what is going to help them tomorrow to live a better livelihood where they can support themselves. When you look at the curriculum of FICH in this boot camp, it's not very different from the order of the curriculum the government has rolled down the new secondary curriculum. Because when the way we teach them is more of the learner-centered than the teacher-centered. Because when we are discussing, we allow them, give them the time and the opportunity to come up with their ideas, to think critically and to share everything that they have. So we are saying it is good. It is adding more value onto the new lower secondary curriculum, because the way we are discussing and sharing this FICH curriculum with them is in exactly the same way they do when it comes to the new lower secondary curriculum, where the students express themselves more, I would say at 80%, and then the teacher just does the 20%. Let alone just that we are here to facilitate. I honestly must say we are learning new things. Sometimes even the things we are facilitating in class, we don't know about them. But because we are reading them in the curriculum and then we go to expand this knowledge to the students, it is helping us. It is expanding our knowledge. It is making us learn new things. Like what I facilitated today, honestly speaking, I didn't even know about it. I didn't know what was a business pitch. But today after facilitating, I honestly can stand anywhere and tell the people something about a business pitch.
As I previously mentioned, this is my second boot camp, and my experience in the first one was overall very positive. I found that the girls were really active and really engaged a lot with the material, and based on anecdotal evidence, just based on stories, and also more concrete evidence from the pre-test and the post-test that they conducted at the camp, you really found that they really harnessed those skills. And now that it's my second time, I'm seeing a lot of them put those skills of mindfulness, self-confidence, and so on really into practice as I've interacted with them more, between that 3-month break we had. And this boot camp we're doing now is more focused on like life skills and entrepreneurial skills. At least that's the classes that I'm teaching. And the content is definitely more technical, and you're seeing them engage with it a lot more. So I'm really excited to see the results of the post-test, but I'm feeling just from engaging with them in class and really facilitating that they're really taking something out of this material. So it's great to see these ladies slowly become women as time goes on. So I think one thing that in America and in Uganda here, we're realizing that the best way to teach people is through a hands-on approach, not just from a lecturer lecturing in class and then the students have to copy down what they say. I really like how this curriculum is extremely hands-on, and it really forces the pupils to actually be doing the teaching and the learning. So they always say you don't know something unless you can teach it. So this method that FICH is employing, they call it the HIPAA method. It's like a guideline in the classroom. You're really seeing at work here, and I think it's similar to what teachers in the U.S. are also starting to use. I think at this boot camp I'm realizing how much I love working with students, and there's nothing more rewarding than seeing a student that you work closely with grow as the days and more so the months go on. That's where you really see the change. For me, from the first boot camp to the second boot camp, interacting with some of these same pupils that have gone on further in the curriculum, I'm really seeing them grow, and it's really inspiring for me personally.
The LEAD's unique content has had distinct impacts on both the students and the facilitators, improving teaching skills and knowledge.
I'm really very honest and sincere the way we have been teaching your children here. Now when they go back home, parents really, you know that these girls have become really very honest and they are really hardworking, all of them. Now, when they go back home, we hope that they will really be giving a helping hand. They are going to really be very productive. They can now even rely on themselves.
Starting
this year, 2024, education at the ordinary level in secondary school is now in line with FICH model of learning being implemented in the 3 schools. So the old curriculum tested memory of classroom work at the expense of nurturing skills in learners. This method of learning has been noted to have many limiting impacts on the learner. In the new curriculum, the learners are guided by the teacher to discover the hidden skill and competencies so as to create a lasting impact on the future of the child and become self-reliant. This was raised by our friend from America. He says they are also moving in this direction. For us in YAM, we are lucky to have this amidst us already through FICH.
The continuous mentorship fosters resilience and self-reliance among students.
We can see the liquid soap and the sanitary pads made by these girls. These skills, if they continue perfecting, can improve their livelihood and self-reliance. The best part is the skills have been imparted to our girls. Oyam district has a very high dropout rate, 20%. Of the 20%, the majority are girls, and the major cause is teenage pregnancy. This teenage pregnancy results from sometimes lack of sanitary pads, little or no pocket money, forcing the girl child to look for it from businessmen and someone who can offer because the parent cannot afford. As a result, it can lead to pregnancy and eventually dropping out of school. But if the girl child picks up life skills from the FICH intervention, utilizing their business and entrepreneurship skills to start bakery, she can use money gained from it to buy those items and save some pocket money
We have witnessed many things from these students. Their speeches, the bread they made, very nice. The public speeches delivered by these girls, you can be sure of a future leader, professionally shaping the country Uganda. FICH picked girls who needed support to nurture different life skills in them after undergoing assessment.
Employers recognize the impact of LEAD in addressing concerns about the quality of the future workforce.
I think it gives them opportunity to understand but also experience the world of works itself. Those who are here, they are already qualified and they are here trying to make a living out of the work. Now it is not just work, but I think it has to do with the passion. And this opportunity would give them, this visit would give them opportunity to develop passion for what they would like to do in the future. Take for example, helping the community using medical profession.
I was so much impressed with the activities of FICH. Having been invited and I have attended this meeting, I realized that FICH is helping our young girls, more especially these teenage girls who are still at school needs to be helped.
The biggest challenge we have at workplace is getting the right person for the right job. Sometimes we are biased towards their qualification, yet some of them become so proud that they don't want to be instructed, they don't want to collaborate, and others, they work like robots. They cannot even interact with their colleagues at workplace, and they are so, how would I put it, they are so programmed that from home they come to work and from work they go home. They don't know that they need to interact, they need to build relationships, they need to start networking, because even when you are here, you can still network and help humanity in a completely different and more comprehensive way. So the biggest challenge we face today is, and if people are not helped well, especially in soft skill, is how to interact with other people at workplace. One is the colleague at workplace, but two are the patients themselves. They need to be talked to. Actually, the more you talk to these patients, the more they get better, even without the medicine sometimes.
The LEAD Discovery Bootcamp aims to create a community of self-reliant, innovative and productive individuals in Uganda, empowering both students and their support networks.